Well, I had the Hebrew, and I have to say that if anybody thinks he is reproducing the sound of the Hebrew in the English, he's seriously delusional. So there always is, and there are various technical reasons for this. This terrific compactness of the Hebrew, the fact that typically in biblical Hebrew, you can say in 2 or 3 words what takes 5 or 6 words or more in English. And I try to tamp down the English to get an approximate equivalent of this. But the way the Hebrew poetry works is most lines are built of 2 parallel halves. And there, in terms of rhythm, there is usually the same number of beats, of accented syllables in each half of the line. Very often it's 3 beats in each half line. And I don't exactly do this. I think as the language demands its own music to some extent, and because we have iambs in English, and so much of the great poetry of English is iambic, I find myself sliding into iambic cadences and so forth. So I have a feeling as translator that it does come closer to the sound of the Hebrew, certainly not the same thing. But maybe we might say something about this as such a breathtaking creation poem.
Yes. Well, again, one of the things that is so striking to me about the Bible, the literature of the Bible altogether, is that it has known human writers, or known human voices speaking, named human writers, shall we say, and they are human. The Psalms despair, and the prophets lament, and all that sort of thing, and they feel weakness, and you feel the burden of their humanity in something that is nevertheless received as being a sacred testimony. It seems to me that that's one of the most poignant and powerful things about Scripture, that it situates the testimony of the sacred in fallible human voices, which are only extraordinary, only more beautiful because you sense the frailties insisted upon. And here we have this enormous disproportion between the grandeur of God that's reported in the psalm and the sense of the presumed triviality of human person, the human perceiver of these stars and so on. The psalm says, you crowned human beings. You gave them the glory that they have, and therefore, even though it is in a sense secondary to what they are, it is also utterly real. There's just an extraordinary complexity of the human presence, the human testimony in a sacred literature. It's very, very remarkable.